All right, assuming if it flips off, let me know. All right, so y'all should have 2x squared. That's 5x, move it over to negative 5. I got minus 7x. All right, this is what I came up with. Check your paper, see if we all got the same thing. So now y'all do quadratic formula with that, you got a chance. All right, so let's take the calculator, type this in. What'd y'all get? I got 25, which simplifies to a 5. So I got 7 plus or minus 5 over 4. Find both answers, please, from there.
I got 3.
So I got 3 for one answer. What's the other answer? 1/2 for the other. All right, so again, you're going to have 3 problems like this. Let's do some of the harder ones. That one was kind of easy, I thought. I think number 3 is a little bit harder. Let's do number 3. I think number 3 is the hardest one on the whole front, actually. All right, so let's go to number 3. Let me rewrite it. 12 over a squared minus 16. All right, so Willie, take your hat off, please. What makes number 3, take your hood off too. What makes number 3 harder than number 1? Somebody look at it, tell me.
It's not.
I think it is harder.
You got to factor that, maybe, but that's about it.
Anytime you got a factor, I think it makes it harder. So y'all got to be able to factor this. How does that factor out?
A plus 4, A minus 4.
Good. Remember, that's a perfect square, so this is the difference of squares. A plus 4, A minus 4. All right, so Willie, we're looking at this one. What's my common denominator going to be?
A plus 4, A minus.
Good, Willie. A plus 4 and A minus 4 over each problem.
2 cancels out, so it's just 12.
All right, see if y'all can do your crossing out. Let's see where y'all get stuck on this one. First of all, I got stuck on this one in a couple places.
I guess I did this in here.
Casey, which stadium y'all playing at this weekend? I know it's in Savannah. Windsor does not have a stadium, I know that. So they have to either play at Savannah High, where y'all play at Couple Weeks ago.
I don't know.
Or Memorial. I don't think y'all played at Garden City. What that the old
We're gonna play our turf, so probably.
turf? All right, so Willie says both of these cancel, bring down 12. I like it. All right, Willie, let's keep going. What cancels on the second one?
A minus 4.
All right, what do you bring down?
12, 24, A.
Good. All right, this is where a lot of kids messed up. Make sure y'all don't mess up right here. Negative 24 times A is negative 24A. Negative 24 times 4 is negative 96. A lot of those kids had a positive 96 right there. Should be a negative. All right, now, some of y'all get stuck here. Every time we've done these problems, y'all gotten stuck. Lots of different ways you can do this. The way I showed you, I said go ahead and distribute your 3. That'll give you 3A plus 12. Now what? You got to full that out. Y'all full that out, bring it down, and then you can work on your quadratic formula. Will you get this? That one? So maybe I don't put one like this on the midterm. I think this one takes too long to do.
You can't full it, then add the 3.
Yes, you can. That's another way, which is probably easier, I think. All right, so y'all gonna have 3A squared. Got a minus 12A. Got a plus 12A. I got minus 48. One thing I noticed right away, positive 12 and negative 12 cancel out. All right, so y'all move everything on the right side, do quadratic formula. Yep. Alright, so I've got 3a squared. I move negative 24 over. That's a positive 24a. Alright, I got 12 minus 96 is negative 84. If I move that over, I gotta make it a positive 84. Allie, add that up for me, please. I got negative 48 plus 84. 36. Alright, so you guys can do quadratic formula with that, and that'll be your answer. Or what was the shortcut I showed y'all about a month ago? Yeah, if you want to divide them all by 3, you can. You don't have to. That would give you a squared plus 8a plus 12. It makes it easier, I think, but you don't have to. Do quadratic formula with that, and we're done with that one. So that one's definitely the hardest one on the front. I'm going to really try not to put one of those on the midterm that long.
Put it in there.
Yes, you're going to do it the rest of the year. Take a college math, you're going to do it then.
I actually believe 5 is harder than 3.
Use them both. Doesn't look that bad on mine.
No, 4's easy, you just x minus 3x plus 6. Oh, okay, I ain't done.
Alright, so 64 minus 48, I believe that's 16, and the square root of 16 is 4. So negative 8 plus or minus 4 over 2. Y'all now find both answers on that one. We'll check them. Just a few minutes. Alright, so first answer negative, I got negative 2. Second answer, I got negative 6. Somebody check those for me. Do it in my head, I might mess up. Does that look right? Okay. Alright, so number 3, and I did check the midterm this morning, guys. There is not one that long on the midterm. Alright, but looking at the midterm, and I had a copy of it up here somewhere. What'd I do with it? When y'all steal it? Some of y'all would. I got it right here. What'd you get before? Oh, there it is. Alright, so looking at the midterm, guys, there's not one like that on the midterm, but there is one exactly like number 6, I believe. Let me see number 6. Yep, so we're going to do number 6.
I got negative 39 equal negative, or, yeah, equal 13.
Alright, looking at number 6 right now on your paper, it is just like number 20 on the midterm. Alright, so we need to do this one to make sure y'all don't get stuck anywhere on this one. What's different about it? Alright, look at it. When you factor this out, Chance, can you factor this out for me? It's a little different. This is number 6.
W minus 2 and.
What do they have in common, guys? A W. Now, if you guys remember, when we did this a month ago, I said it over and over. When you have to factor something, most of the time in our class, it's going to be what the other bottoms are. And in this case, I've got a W in common, so I take out a W, and I'll have W minus 2 left over. So that does apply here again. Now, again, that's how number 20 is going to be on the midterm. I'm telling y'all that because when we did this a month ago on the test, a lot of y'all missed that problem because y'all couldn't factor that out. All right, so now, after that's done correctly, what's your common denominator going to be?
W, parentheses,
W and W minus 2.
and W minus 2.
All right, so I'm going to stop here because the rest of it shouldn't be that bad. I think that was the hardest step. All right, see if y'all can get this done.
Maybe that's some cut.
Finish this problem, Willie, and you go. All right, so W cancels out W. Wow, we got to bring them both down, Willie. I got W minus 2 and a W plus 3. Y'all got to foil that out. So, Willie, start foiling it for me. Tell me what you get.
W squared,
All right, go ahead.
and then 2
minus 2W, what else?
2W. Plus 3W.
Good, last,
I don't know why it's wrong, 'cause I got a negative on it.
And then negative.
negative 6. So when you guys do the FOIL method, that's what you're gonna get right there.
Did you get a negative when you did calculate?
This one? All right, I hadn't done the first step. Can I go to the second step? All right. Second step, everything cancels, so just bring down minus 12. Third step, W minus 2 cancels, bring down 4W.
What did you get when you got one?
6 and negative 2.
I'm saying.
All right, any question on that step? Now, let's bring everything over to the left side. So I got W squared. Add those two up, I get 1. Move that over. I got negative 3W there, minus 18. Y'all can check behind me, I think that's right. So now do quadratic formula from there and see what you get. So check these answers as you complete them. If you missed any of them, I'll come help you. I'm only gonna give y'all like 10 minutes to finish this up and we'll do the back. What you don't finish, you can do on your own time. You good on these? Good on these? Y'all get stuck anywhere, let me know. All right, first thing on the back, everybody mark out number 11. We are not doing number 11. It is not on, it's actually on your midterm. I'm just going to give you that answer on the midterm. All right, so number 9. All you have to do on number 9 is find a VA and a HA. All right, Allie, how do I find the VA? What do we do?
I wanna say it's at the bottom.
All y'all have to do is set the bottom equal to 0. Now, solve that and get an answer. So the VA should be easy. And since this test is going to be multiple choice, maybe just one of the answers has the answer for the VA and you won't even have to do the HA.
Negative 3/4.
Yes. Move that over, that's negative 3, so it's negative 3 over 4. Everybody good there?
I did it in my head.
All right. Does anybody remember how to find the HA? This one's tricky. You just divide. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. All right. So you got one like that on the midterm, just one. If there's not an X on top, then you just write Y equals 0. But I think it's like this. Let me check. Let's check. Yeah, it's just like this. It's got an X on top and bottom. All right, so everybody's good on 9. Let's go to 10. All right, 10 is different. Look at 10. All right, I got X squared plus 5X plus 6 over X plus 2. All right, how is this one different than number 9?
You can factor it.
You can factor it. And if you can factor the top, you have to do that first. You guys factor the top. Everybody should be able to do that. Let's see what you get. It will factor. It's one of these easy ones to factor. Just think up numbers you can times together and get 6.
6 and 1.
And remember,
X and 3.
one of them's got to be X plus 2,
3.
guys.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
hint for you.
3 and 2.
So I'm thinking 3 and 2. Signs, both got to be positive. That's the only way you can get 3 plus 2 and get 5 in the middle.
6 and 9.
You can mark out that X.
I know, that's what I said, I thought it was better.
We got it.
All right, so next step. We can cross out X plus 2. We've got to graph X plus 3. And I'm not going to make y'all graph it now, but I would recommend on the midterm, you graph it over here on the side. How do I graph that? Where do I go? Go to 3. Now what?
1 over 1.
Up 1 over 1. I'm going to make a line going up 1 over 1, which is down 1, back 1. All right, so it looks something like that. Now, how do you find the whole?
Go to negative 2 and go up 1.
All right, Schumann says go to negative 2. Where do you get negative 2 from?
Because I've done it to 0.
Because if you set that equal to 0, and you move it over, you get negative 2. So my whole is at negative 2, follow it up. So all the midterm is going to ask you is, where's the whole? What do you write down for the whole? Negative 2 up 1. You're just going to write this down. That's going to be your answer. And I can show you another way to get that. If you plug -2 in right here, what's -2 plus 3? 1. So if you don't want to graph it, you just plug it back in here. But I think you guys need to graph it because that's how we did it a month ago. All right, that's 10. Let's keep going.
What was the VA and H?
Okay, if it's got a hole, if it factors, it doesn't have a VA and HA. And on that problem on the midterm chance, one answer is gonna have this, the other answers I think have VA and HA, so you know right away it's not those, you mark those out. 11, we're skipping, look at 12. We did one of these the other day. All right, how many answers will 12 have? 3 answers. What do they have in common? They all got an X in common, so what do we do? Take out an X. Y'all have to write this step down first. All right, remember, we are turning this worksheet in. No, we're gonna do a third one either tomorrow or Wednesday, and then we'll turn it in. All right, so that is your first step. When they all have an X in common, take out an X. Now, what's the answer gonna be for this X that's in front?
0.
0. That's your first answer. How do I find the other 2 answers? The quadratic formula, you got it, go. Positive 1 works. All right, so our first answer is 1. And on the midterm, go ahead and check your answers that are given on the test. There might only be one answer that has positive 1 out of A, B, C, and D. Yep. 3 plus 1 is 4. When you times it, Jason, put them here. Add them up, 4. So yeah, I did it right. So now y'all do quadratic formula to find the other 2 answers. Or you could factor it if you want to work a little quicker. -4 plus or minus, I got 16 minus 4 times 1 times 4. All right, somebody help me out. What did y'all get inside the square root symbol on this one? 0. Square root of 0 is 0. So I got -4 plus or minus 0 over 2. All right, first answer, -2. Second answer, -2. Y'all get the same thing? All right, that's your 3 answers for that. All right, question. All right, 15 and 16. We just did your house payment problem just a couple weeks ago. So hopefully this is fresh on your mind. I will give you the formula on the test. All right, don't forget the house payment problem, we got to do the extra step on the I. Maybe y'all have forgot that. Let's look at it. That's right. All right, so the house payment on a house, it costs $253,000. I remember $253,000 goes on the left side of the equal sign. All right. P stands for the house payment. That's why I know 253's got to go over here. You can't go in for the house payment. That's what we're trying to find. All right. Now, I write 1 minus, this is where I got to figure out what the I is. Okay, so what's the interest rate in this problem? 0.048. All right, what do I do with that? I divide it by 12 because you make a house payment 12 times a year. So 0.048 divided by 12 is 0.004. All right, I put that here and I put it on the bottom. All right, so that's one thing we got to make sure that we remember is divide your interest rate by 12. All right, next thing. What does N stand for right here? N stands for number of something. Number of payments, number of house payments. So, good. We're doing it for 25 years, but there's 12 months in each year. So 12 times 25 is 300. So I put a minus 300 right here. And remember, we don't know where the minus came from. It's just in the formula, so we're just going to make sure we add it on. So now you have to plug this in your calculator and get a decimal. If you forgot how to plug it in, you can look at mine. 174.52. Y'all can check me. If anybody didn't get that, I'll let you look at my calculator. Everybody's good? I don't have one of those, Willie. All I got is the calculator batteries. All right, so does anybody remember the last step from here if you want to find your house payment? Yeah, take 253,000 and divide it by 174. So 253 divided by 174.52. All right, my house payment is $1,449.69.
Nice.
All right. You got just one of those. All right, so I noticed Wednesday last week before we got out, before I ran these off, I didn't put y'all's interest rate in the problem. So y'all can see where I wrote it, it's handwritten above that first line. It says your interest rate is 3.5%. All right, so this time we're saving money. John and Sheila are saving money for their son's college fund. They deposit $2,500 once a year for 15 years. All right, so where does $2,500 get plugged in at? That is your payment. All right, so this time there's nothing on the left side. We plug $2,500 in right there. And this time, since I'm only doing it once a year, I don't have to divide my interest rate by 12. I can just type in 0.035. I'll turn the arrow. All right, but N still stands for the same thing, number of payments, number of times. 15, Jason says. Where do you get that from? He does it once a year for 15 years. He has 15. All right, so I like this one much better because you can type everything in one time. You don't have to divide it on the second step. Type it in, see what y'all get. The first time we did this a month ago, several forgot to enter the 2,500 in front of the parentheses. All right, here's what I got. I got $48,239.20. All right, y'all got a minute to finish the ones on the front. Y'all didn't finish. We got one more thing we're gonna do. We may finish up a little early today. All right, remember, we're gonna have one more review sheet tomorrow, and then we'll turn them in. If you want me to give it back to you after I give you a grade so you can study, I will. Y'all's midterm is